Okay, good evening, everybody. On behalf of Rob Martin, this is Rohan Bansali. We welcome you to our live webinar. I'm going to just hit our screen share here. We're going to get started. Ready. Just some quick housekeeping things as we get going here. If you have any questions, there is a live chat when I'm talking. Rob's going to go ahead and man that part. And when Rob does his part, I'll be able to answer any questions. So please go ahead and jump on and ask any questions you have. Afterwards, you can get back to the coach who invited you or to me. My Gmail address down below, teamfindyourfocus@gmail.com or teamfindyourfocus.com is my website. Now there's my Facebook business page, so you can get me any of those ways. And Rob's going to tell you a little bit about his contact.
You can reach me at countryclubfitnessgm@gmail.com, firsttfitness.com, or probably the easiest way is to text me direct or message me via Messenger on Facebook.
Okay, terrific. So let's get going. So we're going to talk today about the coach opportunity with Beachbody. Two very important messages right there in the intro. One is that it's about coaching. It's about helping other people. And it's an opportunity. It's a chance to make a difference not only in your life and the lives of others, but it is an opportunity. It's not a guarantee. It's something you have to work at, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So this is me back in 2010, right after my daughter was born. You can see I was a pretty unhealthy-looking guy. If you've never heard of the metabolic syndrome, this is the metabolic syndrome. Someone who's got a big gut and a bunch of chins and, probably has high cholesterol, high triglycerides, low good cholesterol, and high sugars. This is the precursor to diabetes. My daughter was born a few short months before this, and this is about the time I made a decision that I was going to change my life. So in 2011, I started a program called P90 or Power 90. It's Beachbody, one of Beachbody's earliest programs. It is boring as all get out. It is 4 workouts over 90 days. So for the first 6 weeks, you alternate 2 workouts. And the next 6 weeks, you alternate 2 workouts. Really have to focus on wanting it. But I had great results. It just goes to show you, if you really focus on something, you can make it happen. I refused to try Shakeology for the first basically 2 years or 1.5 years that I was involved with Beachbody. It wasn't until my wife said, "Hey, I really want to give this a try," that we tried it out. It's funny now because we won't go anywhere without our Shakeology. You can see a little bit about my before and after pictures there. On the right is after being with Beachbody for a while. So I became a coach in 2013. So I'd been a customer for 2 years before I joined up. My own coach asked me to become a coach, and I said no at least twice. I was too busy. I had a full-time job. I couldn't make it happen. I wasn't interested in doing sales. All these kinds of excuses, which turned out to be completely erroneous, although I didn't know it at the time. And then I didn't do anything for almost 8 months after I signed up as a coach until a program called P90X3 came out and really changed things for me. And there again, you can see really what the heart of Beachbody is. On the left, I had my little baby boy. I was only a few months old. You can see again, I had that big gut, those multiple chins. I was not a healthy-looking guy. And on the right, I am much older. But my son, who is no longer a baby, is on my shoulders. My daughter is a few years old now, in my arms. And there's no way that this guy on the left could do what the guy on the right is doing. And that really is the heart of Beachbody. So at this point, I'm a 2-star diamond coach. It doesn't really mean anything except that I've had some success with the business. More importantly, I'm the father of 2, as you can see there. I am a full-time cardiologist. Now, that really has no relevance except for the fact to tell you that I'm a busy guy. I work between 60 to 80 hours a week, depending if I'm on call. And despite that, I make this business work. I've achieved some level of success in the business, even though I work, a significant amount of time. So as I'm sure all of you do, are hard workers and have long hours, you can still make this a very successful business despite that. I love programs like P90X and PIO, really terrific programs from Team Beachbody. So let's talk about Team Beachbody a little bit. What is it? Well, back in 1998, our CEO and founder, Carl Deichler, and our president, John Congdon, got together and had a sort of back-of-the-napkin type of conversation and said, let's start a fitness company. Now, this is a pretty bold endeavor considering there's all these other fitness companies out, things like Tybo and Thighmaster and the Gazelle and all these other products and gizmos and gadgets. And these guys decided they were going to get in on a saturated market and make a dent. And as such, in 2000 or late 1999, they released a program called P90 or Power 90. That was the program that I first did. And it really started producing some results in people. And then a couple other programs came out. And then in 2004, everything changed. P90X was released. Everyone has heard of it, or most people have heard of it. It revolutionized home fitness. It brought the boot camp mentality to home fitness and produced ridiculous results. People were losing hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Lives were being altered. It was a tremendous revolution. And what we found were that people who were doing the program were reaching out to people who had already done the program, so-called P90X grads, and asking them to mentor them in how to be successful in this kind of program. And the people who had mentors were getting better results and sticking to the program longer than people who weren't. So Beachbody in 2007 said, we've got to codify this. And they created the coaching network, a group of mentors called Team Beachbody. And since then, things have exploded. You can see there in early 2009, the aptly named Insanity was released. A few years later, P90X2 came out, and then Body Beast came out in 2012. Now, that's a very interesting program because it was Beachbody's strength building and muscle building program. And what we found was it was geared towards men and putting on a lot of muscle. What we found was that women were having the ability now to do significant weightlifting at home. Now, we don't talk a lot about weightlifting in women, but it's really critical. It helps maintain bone density, improves glycemic utilization, builds lean muscle, and it prevents osteoporosis. There's a huge list of benefits to resistance training for women. But we still, for some reason in 2016, have this bad gym culture, and women still are intimidated to go to the gym and lift weights. It's unfortunate, but it is still the reality for a lot of women. So this program gave them the ability to use weights and resistance training at home, basically with a personal trainer, with Sagi, the guy who does Body Beast, and gave them the ability to lift weights safely and privately and get all the benefits. So we had, really tremendous benefit affecting women. And then T25 changed things again. T25, basically busted the last excuse, which is I don't have enough time. It's 25 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and gives you the benefits because it's high-intensity interval training that a much longer program gave you. So now, 25 minutes a day, just about anybody could do it, especially when you don't have to drive to a gym. So this really produced phenomenal results and opened a brand new market. P90X3 came out, and that really revolutionized things for me. Also, 30 minutes a day, tremendous program, really produced great results. And then a few short months later, the 21-day fix came out, and this had tremendous results because not only introduced beginner level exercise program that you could do at home, but it also provided a nutritional component, and that was something that was badly needed, and it really produced terrific results. People were, again, losing hundreds of pounds, and even people who had just a little bit of weight to lose were having much better results than they expected. It really taught people how to eat properly. Before long, that original Power 90, the one I started with, got revamped into P90. And for us in my family, the circle became complete because I put my then 70-year-old mom on that program. And despite having a bad shoulder and not being a spring chicken, my mom lost 30 pounds, and using that with the nutritional products, went from diabetic to non-diabetic. And I think that's a really huge story because it just goes to show you that Beachbody has programs available for everyone. You can see some of our nutritional products on the bottom there, Shakeology, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the programs continue to come out. Our newest and most exciting program came out just last week called Core to Force. It's a martial arts inspired program, and it's really produced tremendous results. So terrific. So we got this company that's, putting out a lot of great programs and producing some results. How do I know it's not going to go the way of Tybo and Suzanne Summers and, Tony Little and Gazelle? Well, here's Beachbody in 2007. and when Team Beachbody started, and look at the growth curve. Over 500 million in 2014, over $1 billion in 2015, and it continues to grow. And keep in mind that Team Beachbody is only in the United States and Canada. It's not yet in all of North America, little in South America, Central America, Asia, Europe, Africa, any of the other places where fitness will continue to be a profitable business. Beachbody is limited only to the United States and Canada and is growing rapidly. So why? Why is Beachbody successful where these other programs in a saturated market have not been doing well? Well, it's because Beachbody is not a unidimensional program. It's not just one thing. It doesn't just give you videos. Beachbody gives you fitness videos, some of which we've talked about. It gives you a nutritional component, and that really is a critical aspect that gets overlooked. It gives you peer support, which is the heart of the coaching or the mentor network, and there are rewards for being part of Beachbody. So let's talk a little bit about the nutritional aspect. So this is a product called Shakeology, and it is Beachbody's hallmark nutritional product. When people ask us what Shakeology is, we tell them it's our daily dose of dense superfood nutrition, which is, pretty silly to say until you break it down into its components. So when we talk about being daily, people are confused about what to eat, particularly at breakfast time. Should I be eating pancakes? Should I be eating oatmeal, right? Everyone should be eating oatmeal, apparently. Can I eat eggs? Are eggs good for you or eggs bad for you? Is bacon okay? Is it paleo? Is it, what should I be eating for breakfast? Shakeology gives you one meal every day that is going to be healthy, that you know what to have. You don't have to guess. You don't have to plan. It's all there. You just put in the stuff into the blender, hit blend, you're good to go. Or you just put it in a shaker bottle, shake it up, you're good to go. You are guaranteed to have terrific results with it. So it's every day. It's a dose. Well, we think dose, we think medications. Shakeology is not a medication. But I'll tell you, for me, I am constantly being bombarded by germs, by pathogens in the hospital, and I promise that Shakeology keeps me out of harm's way. If I sample out too much of it and I don't have enough for myself and I go without for 3 or 4 days, inevitably I get a cold or something starts coming on. I get very tired. Shakeology keeps me energized and really keeps me healthy. And the reason it does that is because it's packed with these dense superfoods from around the world. Now, this is the wall of Shakeology, and I'm not going to bother going through each and every component because there's over 70 superfoods source harvested from around the world. But it does have things that are immune boosters. It has things that are antioxidants, things that are anti-aging, things that help with skin and hair growth, digestion, and there's a ton of other things. The point is that Shakeology is made of really dense superfoods from taken around the world that really help with your energy levels and keeping you full, and most importantly, help accelerate weight loss. It comes in a bunch of different flavors. This is a little outdated now because we have a new flavor called Cafe Latte that's a little over a year old. My wife used to get that tropical strawberry on the left-hand side there, and the day that Cafe Latte showed up at our house, we never saw that tropical strawberry again. I am a big fan of the chocolate, which is front and center there. I know Rob's a fan of the vanilla. I have a lot of teammates that enjoy the strawberry, and I like that green berry down on the end. So there are a lot of great flavors. There's something for everybody, and it's an incredible nutritional product. Really, it's been my secret weapon. I told you that for 2 years I had refused to try it. My wife and I and our kids recently went to Italy. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary, and we took Shakeology with us to Italy because we weren't going to go without. That's how much that means for us. Beachbody has something available for everyone. We talked about some of the fitness programs. Well, you can get those on DVD. You can get them via streaming digital access, and that's something that Rob's going to talk to you a little bit about a little further along in the webinar. If you need equipment, whether you need bands or you need, push-up stands or mats or whatever you need to complete your program, all of it's available from Beachbody. You don't have to go to 95 different places to get all the equipment. Everything's there for you. Whatever your goals are, if it's weight loss, we have tremendous products for them. There's a 3-day refresh. There's a 21-day cleanse. It's called the Ultimate Reset. Whether you're trying to improve your sports performance, we have the appropriate supplements. Now, that's probably the most exciting part of Beachbody for me is the performance line, which came out about 18 months ago. It is made up of 5 major components. There is a pre-workout Energize, which I love. a intra-workout hydrate. It's a hypotonic solution to replace lost fluids. There is a post-workout recover, which is an optimal combination of proteins, amino acids, and a little bit of carbohydrates. There's a overnight recharge to help prevent delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS. And there's creatine, which is probably one of the most heavily studied supplements around. And Beachbody has all of these. And not only do they have them, but they're all NSF safe. And if you're wondering if they're effective, just hear this. Beachbody, about 3 or 4 months ago now, became the official sponsor of the Ironman Triathlon. For those of you who are not familiar with that, it is a 140.6-mile race. It is a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bicycle ride, and a 26.2-mile marathon. Good triathletes complete their race in about 10 hours. Average triathletes, if there is such a thing, are 12 to 14 hours. So people racing for that long better have supplements that are going to support and sustain them. So you know that if Ironman agreed to have Beachbody become their official supplement, there was good vetting of the product and really great science behind it. It was all created by a exercise physiologist from Harvard who was on staff with Beachbody. Really tremendous products, has made an incredible difference to me. Okay, great. So you got these products, you got a company that's growing and expanding, it's only in North America. How do I know any of this stuff works? Well, the proof, as I say, is in the eating of the pudding. And this is these are some of the people who have had great results with Beachbody. And you can see they come in all shapes and sizes. Some people had a little weight to lose. Some people had a lot of weight to lose. Some people just needed to gain some muscle and get ripped up. Whatever your personal goals are, we not only have a product and program for you to reach that, but you have a coach that already has achieved those results. There's people who understand what you're going through, and that is the heart of the peer support. Peer support is a coach, a mentor, someone to help keep you accountable and keep you in your journey with Beachbody. So let's get to it. What does a coach have to do? And more importantly, what does a coach not have to do? A coach does not have to be someone who's already a fitness or nutrition expert. Now, Rob's got some training in fitness and nutrition. He'll tell you about that, but I have none. Despite the fact that I'm a cardiologist, I had 20 minutes in nutrition in med school. Most of that was to prevent, protein calorie malnutrition, which doesn't occur in the United States anyway. I had no background. I really didn't know what optimal ratios were for carbs and fats and proteins and all that kind of stuff. And I still, I don't, although I've learned a lot, I'm still not an expert in these things. But you know who is? Beachbody. So my job is not to be the expert. My job is to connect the person with the program that's going to help them get results, and let Beachbody be the expert. Do you have to already be at your fitness and nutritional goal? No, because it's really hard to identify with people who are already ripped up and shredded, because you just can't see yourself. It's like looking at someone at the end of the journey. It's very hard. The same way it's very hard to identify with a millionaire. It's just not someone that that you can relate to. But if you can see someone going through the journey, someone who is committed to using the products every day, to pressing play every day, then people look at those people and say, well, if that guy or that girl can do it, then I can do it. And that's really what you need. And most importantly, you do not need to be an experienced salesperson. In fact, we don't want experienced salespeople. We want people who are going to be willing to share how the product is changing their lives. That is one of the most important things about being a coach, is you got to be willing to share your story with other people. And sometimes that's hard. You wouldn't want to look back at when you started your journey, or when you were really out of shape, or when you made some really bad calls in your life. But you share that with people. There is someone out there who's also making that same mistake, who you can look at you as a light and say, okay, this person is going to help me achieve what I need to achieve. And then you just connect that person with the product that is going to help them. But you of course have to be committed to go on your own journey. That's, again, you can't talk to people about Shakeology if you're not using Shakeology. You can't tell people that the programs work unless you're using the programs. You have to develop your own story. You have to be using the stuff before you can help other people start using it. And most importantly, you have to be willing to improve and develop your mind, Personal development is one of what we call the vital behaviors in Beachbody. And frankly, it's something that has improved my life, not just with Beachbody, but my professional life as well. It's changed the way I looked at the world, my relationships with my family, my friends and coworkers. The constant self-improvement is critical. All right, I'm going to jump out here and let Rob take over. Okay, you're all good.
Awesome. Fantastic, Rohan. Great job as always. Put this in presenter mode so everybody can share my screen here. Okay. Well, as Rohan said, my name is Rob Martin. I've been a Beachbody customer since 2009. At that point in my life, I pretty much was at a crossroads. I was 35 years old. Really unsure as to exactly which way in life I was going to go. I was obese as a child and struggled with it, lost a lot of weight, and then started putting all that weight back on, as you can see from my left picture to my right picture. The right picture is after one round of P90X.
We can't see your screen.
Oh, hold on. Let's see here. Get this in share screen.
There we go.
Okay, sorry about that.
And we go into presenter mode now
Yep.
to be able to see it. Magic of live webinar, folks.
There we go. Okay. That's what happens when you stay up till 1 o'clock on a work night, I guess. So, like I was saying, 2009 was kind of the crossroads of my life. Going one way or the other. Was I going to really dedicate myself to getting healthy, or was I kind of going to continue to go on the yo-yo path where you'd essentially starve yourself for a couple months, 3 months at a time, and then go back and put on another 20 pounds on top of what you had lost anyways. And so that was kind of where I was at. Late at night, saw P90X come across the television screen and figured, you know what? I've spent my money on a lot of other crazy things. I might as well give this a whirl and see if there's anything to it. Got P90X in, did the first workout, and pretty much thought I was going to die and was ready to abandon ship. But a funny thing happened. As Rohan said, there are coaches, and my coach called me and he said, hey, we got a community of people, and this is pre-Facebook, a community of people that, are doing exactly what you're doing, and they can kind of walk you through every step of the way. And so it kind of intrigued me, not being by myself through the journey and having some sort of support. And so, one day mounted into two mounted into three. It was a community, the accountability that I got, the support, the motivation, the inspiration from other people was truly amazing. And so that's kind of where it started. I became a coach about maybe 6 or 7 months later, mostly for the discount, quite honestly. Who doesn't like getting discounts off of what they already do, whether it be a BJ's membership or a Costco or whatever. But, this is something in my time in my life that I really needed to do. And so it worked out phenomenally well for me. And then so not only did I get the benefit of the discounts, I sold the program here and there to some friends and buddies that needed help as well. And I was able to take a tax write-off on the business. And so it was fantastic. And that served me for a period of time until you see my three beautiful boys on the right of the screen. As they got to get bigger, I realized that as good of a job as I had and my wife had, the careers, that we always seem to be kind of up against it financially. There was always a point where, if something happened at the month, if our dryer blew up, if the car needed new tires or brakes, it would set us back. And so really from that standpoint, I figured, you know what? I absolutely love the program. I love the company. I love everybody associated with it. Why not try to make a business out of it? And that's kind of where it started. And so, like Rohan said, he's a cardiologist, and I really can't imagine a profession that requires more time and dedication than that, I'm the general manager of a country club, 27-hole golf course. And so in the middle of the summer, my hours look probably something like Rohan's, and though not life and death, some of my members may treat it as such. My personal obsessions lately are obstacle course racing. I love PIO. I love lifting, HIIT workouts. I'm addicted to one of the programs Beachbody has called Body Beast. It's a staple in my life. Helps me work out a lot of the stress that life has to offer, and keeps me in tip-top shape. And like Rohan said, I think strength training, a lot of people have misconceptions about as far as what it actually does. But there's nothing better to maintain your lean muscle mass and your weight in general, and thus the bone density and everything else that it offers with it. And so that's kind of the beauty of lifting, and Body Beast kind of walks you through every step of the way. So the benefits of being a coach, there's a multitude, and really, quite honestly, they go way past what's listed here. But some of the benefits, like Rowan and myself said, we both are very, very busy, but you're able to work the business on your own hours, your own schedule. With social media the way it is, it's very, very easy to help people at, very convenient times, whether you're stuck in traffic, whether you're stuck at the grocery store. In fact, I was stuck in an ultra long line today at the grocery store as I was picking up, some groceries for the family, and was able to essentially help 3 or 4 people by answering questions. We can build businesses online. You can build businesses in person, on social media forums and chat groups across the country. It's pretty exceptional. I have, over 400 different clients, in over 42 different states. And so, you're able to build an exceptional company, exceptional business, all over the country. And that's really where it gets exciting. And we'll touch base as far as if there are any trainers listening. I know I talked to a bunch of trainers and gym owners, and that's really where it's exciting, because from a lot of businesses, if you have to inventory product, well, you're only dealing with people that are face-to-face. With this particular business, you're dealing with people across the country that you don't have to inventory any of the product. And so if you're a trainer, you can help people nationally rather than those people that are within your 20-mile demographic, and whether or not you even reach those people in general. And so it's a pretty exceptional business for just about anybody, whether you're already a fitness professional, whether you're a mom or a dad, or somebody like myself. When I first started, quite frankly, wasn't in great shape. I was going through my own journey, and as Rohan said, now I'm a certified nutrition coach and trainer, and not that you need to be, but that's kind of where my journey has taken me. That's where my passion lies, as far as really trying to get as much knowledge as I can to help people. And really, ultimately, what I find is that what people need most is support. They don't need, you to know everything. What they need you to do is lend a hand every step of the way. Holy moly. I think I'm going to have to work on my scrolling. And what way am I going? Okay, so here we go with, the rewards. Okay, I apologize. Okay, what you receive as a coach, you receive 3 preloaded websites specific to you, meaning that these are your websites. They all link back to your direct deposit. And so when you show somebody your website and they order something off your website and they don't have a Beachbody account, you receive credit for this. And the beauty of this really is, you don't have to inventory any product. And that's kind of what I mentioned before, is that you can help people nationally, not necessarily just locally. And with the 3 websites, the other aspect of this is absolutely magnificent, is that it could be that you help somebody, say, with a creatine, and they absolutely get great benefits from creatine, which is one of the most studied supplements going as far as, from a performance level and a safety level. It's absolutely amazing. You sell it to them once, you show them they order it once. If they continue to order it again 12 times and you've never talked to them again, you receive that commission. And so that's really where the business builds, is that you're just essentially helping people find what's going to work for their goals. And that's as simple as that. And so the app is, you also receive an app that's pictured on the right side. And on this particular app, it's fantastic. It's from the same engineers that designed Facebook. You can run 10 different groups simultaneously with up to 250 different challengers. And so if you're a trainer, you can essentially absolutely rock this. If you have a huge clientele base, or if you just have, a hit group of 5 people that meet on a regular time, you can make this particular group so that way you can constantly track what they're doing, what they're eating, support them throughout the day, ask if they're making good food choices, whatever the case may be. And so there's all kinds of different things that we can do. In fact, there's a new program that just came out, and we're running a Quarter Force app challenge group on there. So all kinds of different things. We'll be running holiday challenge groups, and it really is limitless as far as all the different things. And so you also receive an online office that Beachbody provides that contains all the information that you need, whether it be product information, your customer, your client information, your commission information, bonuses, orders, personal development, training. Really, the list is exponential. I mean, we could spend all night going over all the amazing things that you receive in your online office. But when you do become a coach, those are the things that we'll go through in detail to make sure that you get exactly what you're looking for. Rewards, we had mentioned commission. You make a 25% commission minimum off of your products that you have. You also make bonuses. This is why the business works, right? Is that the more successful you are, that's great. But you really get more out of it from a business standpoint when your coaches are more successful. So when my coaches are more successful, well, I don't make money directly off of that. I'm more successful because I get rewarded for building a very strong team. So in return, it makes me want to build a coaching network of the strongest people and provide as much support and motivation and inspiration and knowledge as I can to my coaches. And in return, they do the same for their coaches. And that's why it works for the clients, because your goal is to get your clients the best results possible. And so everybody is looking out for the best interest of the other person, because ultimately that's in our best interest as well. And so it's a huge team atmosphere. I've never been part of anything like it. Usually, unfortunately, in most businesses, it's very secretive if somebody's successful. Nobody wants to share the details as far as what makes them successful. So in this particular business, everybody's sharing what's working, how they're rocking the business, how to do it. We have coach calls that we'll get into a little bit later that essentially tell you every step of the way as far as how to go about doing all this. And we also run a Coach Basics group as well. So all kinds of amazing things that absolutely rock the business. And one of my favorite pages, if I can get to it, is a statement of earnings. And you may say, geez, why is this your favorite page? And, it's my favorite page because, quite frankly, just like having a gym membership, it only works if you do, meaning that this business is a billion-dollar business. There are millionaire coaches that are absolutely crushing this business on a daily basis. They make the same amount of money we do. They make the same amount of bonuses as far as what's out there, regardless of whether your race, your creed, your color, your age. You have the same opportunity as they do. And so if you put the work, the effort, the dedication, the drive into this, you'll make this $1 million business. If you treat this like a $10 business, or you treat this like that person who has a membership to Planet Fitness that has it on the key ring, but they never enter the front door, that's exactly what you're going to get out of it. So ultimately, while I and Rohan and the rest of the coaching network will provide you as much knowledge as possible. Ultimately, it's up to you what you want out of life. This business only works if you do. If you don't put any effort into it, you won't get anything out of it. So there's no illusion. And that's kind of the great part about this, is that, people bring different skill sets to the table. Some people may be far more sociable than I am. Some people, I would venture to guess, most people are more technologically advanced than I am. I'm a nightmare. So it took me a lot longer to get up and running than most people probably would, because I don't have that technological background that a lot of people may have, just because they are younger when they enter this business. I was probably a little bit higher on the higher end of our demographics from an age standpoint. And so it's easier for a lot of the younger people that will join. They're already familiar with a lot of the social media networks. They're already familiar with a lot of the technology that's out there that exists. That's not to say you can't learn it. I've learned it over the years, and I've certainly gotten far better than I can. But everybody's skill set is different, and so therefore your earnings may be a little bit different. Some may be able to do a lot faster than I did it. Some people may do it a little bit slower. Some people may not have kids, and so they can dedicate a lot of time to this. Other people may have kids like myself and Rohan, in which case in careers, and they have to say, okay, well, there are limitations as far as the amount of time that we can spend doing this. The beauty of it is that no matter what you do, what amount of time you spend to it, you can still make a business out of it as you go. It's just a matter of how fast you want that to develop. And so that's the amazing part of it. And so, because everybody's skill set is different, there's no way any of us could ever tell you what you are or aren't capable of making. Some people could come out of the gate absolutely rocking it and make far more than myself or Rohan are making right now. And other people, it may take a lot longer. Or some people just, just like in life, some people just may not work. They may like the idea of it, but they don't want to put forth the effort. So everybody's a little bit different. And so therefore there's no guaranteed income that Beachbody ever offers, mainly because everybody's different. So there's outstanding support. We've touched base on it, from the tools, the training, the business quick starts, the coach basics, training, the marketing tools. It's all available. It doesn't cost you anything. The communication from corporate office, the coach breaking news, national wake-up calls, which is personal development. It's essentially all the $1 million coaches in the business that every Monday tell you how they became $1 million coaches. It is amazing. And, if you did this in any other business, you would absolutely pay whatever it costs to listen to that call. It's free every single Monday. If a stock trader was going to, every Monday tell you exactly how he became the top stock trader of the year, you would better believe that you'd be tuning in every Monday. But yet that's what Beachbody does. And so we're all sharing what's working best for us, from the very top of the ladder to other coaches. So it's pretty exciting. Coach monthly newsletter, what's going on, what's coming down the path, what the new some of the new things that Beachbody is looking at, whether or not we're moving into new countries, etc. Coach FAQ with the facts. It's essentially, you can ask any question and it pops right up there. You don't necessarily have to call customer service. You can essentially scroll and look for your answer right online. So it's a pretty cool feature offered. We're on all social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, although I still don't understand Snapchat for the life of me. But it is growing bigger and bigger from everything everybody tells me, although I still can't quite figure it out. So from there, let's see what to expect from our team. The coach that sponsors you, myself, Rohan, or other coach that invited you to this webinar, mentors you every step of the way, provides you the direction, the guidance, the how-tos. We invite you to our coaching network. We pretty much provide you with everything that you need to be successful, as well as free training provided by the team, regular team meetings, In fact, we have a team meeting right after this particular webinar, and one later on in the week. We have quarterly meetings in person if you choose to make it, Super Saturdays, Super Fridays, summits, leadership training. I mean, the support is absolutely unbelievable, and the recognition is top notch. And so from there, what are your options? Are you ready to join the team as a coach, or are you ready to join the team as a customer? As a coach, there's a number of different ways you can join. You can join via a challenge pack, which is, to me, the most the easiest way, the no-brainer way, so to speak. You get a fitness program of your choice, a month of Shakeology Home Direct, and a trial of Beachbody on demand. And I haven't even mentioned on demand, which might be the greatest invention going, since sliced bread. What it is, it's Beachbody has its own, I think, Netflix for fitness, and that we have over 4,000 different streaming workouts on your website on beachbody.com, beachbodyondemand.com, that essentially has every single workout you can imagine, whether you're looking for yoga. In fact, they added 8 new yoga workouts this week. Whether you're looking for plyo, whether you're looking for HIIT workouts, flexibility workouts, strength training workouts, and everything in between is streamed right to your phone, laptop, iPad, really whatever you choose. And so TV, so you can take your workouts with you, whether you're traveling for business, pleasure, whether you're taking your phone to the gym, whether you just do it in different areas of the house. I do mine in the basement of the house, and so it's very convenient for me to take the laptop down there and connect a cable and pop it right in, and bam, I can stream whatever workout I want. That's another amazing opportunity that you have. And so, I won't go into it now, but what I'd recommend is you get with the coach that invited you and ask, well, geez, how does that subscription play into how much money I'm going to make? Because it's a huge, huge revenue booster for coaches. Another way you can join as a coach is Shakeology Home Direct. So you get Shakeology plus the $40 coaching fee, and you become a coach. Now, quite frankly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do it this way, because a lot of the newer challenge packs range from $140 to $160. And so you can get a challenge pack for $140. Well, Shakeology Home Direct and the coach enrollment fee is going to be $140, and you don't get a program. So again, the challenge pack is always the best way to go. It's going to save you the most amount of money. It's going to show you how to succeed in getting your fitness results, as well as getting you involved in the business. And this is how I'd say 99% of my clients get the best results, because if you just have a workout program, but you're not paying attention to your nutrition, you're not going to get the results as fast as you really want, and thus you're less likely to stick with it. When you get the results, and when you do the workouts and you do the nutrition, you get the fast results. The faster you get results, the more likely you are to stick with it and be excited about it. The longer you're able to stick with it, the more this becomes a routine and a lifestyle. And that's ultimately the goal. The third way is you get a fitness program of your choice plus a $40 fee. So your fee is going to be about $100, but that, again, doesn't include the nutrition. And so like Rohan said, we need to be a product of the product. This doesn't work if you're trying to sell stuff to people, okay? I'm as successful as I am. Rohan's as successful as he is because we believe in the product and we use the product, and people see this and they say, okay, well, I see Rohan running 20 miles every Sunday. I see him sparring in his MMA competitions. I see him absolutely the healthiest it's ever been. I see Rob running OCR races. I see him lifting every day. I see him maintaining a physique for a 44-year-old, which is pretty phenomenal. And so that's why people look for us to help them out, because they see what we're doing. This isn't a business where you're trying to sell. We're trying to help, okay? We're trying to help people get the results that they've been unable to get by either going to the gym, or they don't have time to go to the gym, or they quite honestly don't know what to do. And I run into a lot of clients that have absolutely zero idea of what to do or what nutrition is. And so this provides the whole solution. What you get, there is a business service fee. And this, at first I said, geez, a business service fee, here we go. Until you realize what the business service fee actually covers. So for $15.95 a month, you pay this monthly. What it does is it covers the hosting of your 3 websites, which is a pretty amazing cost just in its own right. I have a website for a different business that I used to run, and that cost me about $125, and it has none of the features that these websites have. So $15.95 for 3 websites. It all comes back to you. You also get the Coach app. You get the Coach online office that tracks all your commissions, your clients, your customers, your downline, et cetera, et cetera. It just goes on forever. What it factors in. Your product warehousing, you never inventory product, you never touch the product, you never take orders for the product. Everything is done online. Customer service, this is like the greatest thing. Customer service, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you get customer service. There's not a time of the day that you can't get customer service, whether you want to do it via the phone, a 1-800 number, or whether you want to do it via a chat. You can get customer service. You can get technical support as well. Marketing, communications, training, success on demand, Beachbody on demand, it's all there. So the $15.95, quite honestly, when you boil it all down, you're like, Jesus, that's a lot you get for $15.95. And on top of it, it's a business fee. So at the end of the year, you write it off anyways. Now, if you're a service member of the Armed Services, we thank you for your support. And Beachbody does one better. Not only do they thank you, but they waive this monthly fee. So if you are a veteran or active duty or the spouse of either, this fee is waived. And so your coach or whoever is sponsoring you can explain how you'd go about having this fee waived. So that's a thank you to your service and dedication to this country. So when you join as a customer, you can do so exactly the same way that you can as a coach, except you don't pay the $40 fee if you get the Shakeology Home Direct or the fitness program. There's no coach fee. Now, if you get a challenge pack and 6 weeks in or a month in or 2 months in, you say, geez, Rob, this is absolutely rocking my world. This is absolutely amazing. I think I want to become a coach. The beauty of this is that retroactively, you can become a coach via the challenge pack without paying an additional fee. You'll essentially pay the fee to sign up, and then we'll reimburse the fee because you've already purchased the challenge pack. So there's no cost to becoming a coach, because quite honestly, we want you to become a coach to love the products as much as we do and save on the discounts and get all the ancillary benefits of being a coach. So in the next 24 hours, a person who invited you is going to ask, what did you like best about the presentation? Does this seem like a fit that could help you achieve your goals? Quite honestly, maybe you're at the point in your life where you just want to be a customer, and coaching really isn't, you're not ready for that. And that's fine, because I was there, Rohan was there. At a point in time in our lives, we were just happy being customers. Perhaps you say, you know what, I need a change in my life. I need to establish some sort of passion again. And that's really what I did. What I found is that it was great being in shape myself. And I got a lot out of that, and I enjoyed working out, and it was a great stress reliever. But I amped it up a notch when I did start helping people, because what I soon realized is that when I helped one of my friends who had a family, not only am I helping my friend, but I'm essentially changing the culture in the entire family. So when you help that one person who has a family, what happens is that the rest of the family follows along with that family member. The children in that family start to eat a little bit better. The wife starts to eat a little bit better, or vice versa. The husband starts to eat a little bit better. Everybody starts paying a little bit more attention to what they're doing. They go on walks as families together. They go riding bikes together. instead of sitting down on the couch and watching nothing but TV or watching reruns, they're doing things as a family together. And so when you grow up like that and you're able to change one person in that family, ultimately you're changing slowly the culture of the entire family. Now that happened with my family to the point where my kids watch what they do. We used to have soda in the house all the time. We used to have chips and candy and ice cream and you name it. And we didn't think anything of it. It was just like a fact of life. Now it's fruit, it's water, it's vegetables. We go on walks, we go on bike rides, we walk the dog to the nth degree. And that's what this is about. This is about changing a culture of society where we've gotten ourselves into a hole where we need to get ourselves out of a hole. And this is exactly the start that does that. So if you have that passion to do that, you'd make an exceptional coach. And that's kind of where I fell in love with the business. But when I realized that, you know what, I'm not just changing myself, I'm helping my family. And so ultimately it's up to you to decide what is going to be best for you. And then you got to think about, you know, what becoming a coach do for me? Who can I help? And what are my goals and dreams? You know, it's sad to say that before I, you know, was working Beachbody and I had a great career and we had a house and, you know, we had these somewhat aspirations. I never had goals. I did have dreams. You know, dreams were somehow some way to retire, but a dream is merely a wish. A goal is a plan to get to that dream. And there are two big differences. And so now I have goals. I actually have a formulated plan on how I'm going to achieve my dreams. And a lot of people sadly don't have that. And so that's what this business provides. Not only does it provide you the monetary way to do that, but it provides you mentally and intrinsically the way to do that as well. And so it's a pretty powerful business from all those different aspects. And so if you want to, you know, reach out and talk to Rohan or myself further about the business, or you say you like what you heard and you want to get going, you can contact Rohan at teamfindyourfocus@gmail.com and teamfindyourfocus.com, or myself, Country Club Fitness GM at gmail.com or firsttfitness.com, or you can message us via Messenger or whatever is most convenient. I appreciate your time this evening and hope you have an awesome day.
Good night, everybody.